52. You shall ease the burden of existence for yourselves and people of your kind, fellow human beings, because you are weak through your unknowing of the truth of the primal power creation, and its laws and recommendations. Therefore you shall bring about assuagement for yourselves and people of your kind, human beings, by turning yourselves to the teaching of truth, the teaching of spirit, the teaching of life, so that it may go well with you. 53. Do not split up, share your possessions amongst one another with illicit, forbidden means, deception/theft. Earn everything with honest commerce and in mutual consent. And be reputable, honest, and righteous, conscientious to yourselves. So you shall not commit any outrage to your own body and life, and not kill, murder yourselves. Neither shall you let yourselves be killed, murdered by deceitful murderers. And do not kill, murder for the sake of another's possessions. And do not rob those who are going about their business, wayfarers/business people, etc., or who carry their wealth on their person or keep it in their house, home. And yet whoever contravenes this law, nevertheless in outrageousness and iniquity and unfairness, shall be severely punished by separation from men or women, cast out of society and separated by gender, and be excluded for a certain time through remaining in a place of fulfillment of guidelines, secluded place/isolated island, amongst people of their kind, and in separation of the sexes, only men or only women, so that they may feel the fire of admonishment, conscience, in themselves and become of right sense. 55. Keep yourselves away from the minor and the major things which are illicit, forbidden for you, and observe the laws and recommendations that are given in a fair, responsible way for the well and for the protection of the life of all. Then you will contribute to love amongst all, as well as to peace, freedom, and consonance, harmony. 56. And do not desire that which sets others apart or what others have created, just as you shall not desire the possessions of another either. The things you want to have shall be created by your own power in righteousness, conscientiousness, so that every man shall have his share according to his merits, and so that every woman shall have her share according to her merits. Do not be envious of things that others have more of than you do, so that you do not become slanderers, calumniators of them, and you do not become thieves, deceivers, and murderers, killers. If you dare to slander them, steal from them, deceive them, or rob them. 57. Consider, each one is given everything according to his or her merits, and so it shall also be in a bond contract. If you have concluded one with one another, so that one party shall not be disadvantaged whilst the other is advantaged, receives a benefit. Therefore everything shall always be regulated so that both parties receive the same shares and rights, such that one does not have more than the other. And if you conclude a bond contract for a deal, then it shall be such that the one who is the grantor-seller does not give excessive advantage to the receiver-purchaser, and the latter does not carry out his or her obligation to the wards. The grantor-seller tardily does not discharge the responsibility. 58. And you stand in responsibility for all things, both as man and as woman, and therefore it shall also be kept rightful in this way if you enter into a bond marriage, as well as if you are still without a partner and married. Therefore whether in a bond marriage or in the unmarried state, you bear the entire responsibility for everything and each thing that you do, and in the bond marriage, it is both the woman and the man who bear complete responsibility for the clan family, and therefore the descendants, as well as for the hearth household, and possessions and wealth. And if everything is managed and created jointly, then all parties have an equal right to all possessions and wealth. Yet if the bond breaks apart, then everything that has been created jointly shall fall due in equal measure to the man and woman. If the man or woman brings his or her own possessions into the bond marriage, then every possession and the wealth shall be due conjointly accordingly to the person who brought it with them as their own goods brought with them, which shall also apply if the bond marriage is dissolved. Neither man nor woman shall be preferred in the responsibility and management of the clan family, in the descendants and the hearth household, because the management and welfare of these are in the responsibility of both. Yet it shall be that the sager party, man or woman, bears a heavier responsibility than the less sager party, and therefore it is rightful that both the man and the woman are obedient to one another in responsibility and keep their joint secrets of the bond marriage in public, and therefore do not talk with interveners, third parties, about it, so that the confidentiality of the unity of the bonded companions, marriage partners, may be retained. If, however, one bonded companion, married partner, behaves with intractability or vice or addiction, so that the bond marriage and the management of the clan family and provision for the descendants and welfare of the hearth household suffer harm, then the jurisdiction shall make a choice decision about the reprimand, so that the intractability, vice or addiction may be counteracted and resolved. And if the intractable party obeys and demonstrates throughout 1 year that the evil has been rectified, then no further measures shall be sought against him or her. If, however, it becomes apparent after 1 year that the choice decision and the reprimand are being contravened, then the jurisdiction shall impose a punishment involving confinement to a place of fulfillment of guidelines, secluded regions or islands, for a time of 2 years for coming to terms, healing/recovery. If the fulfillment of measures punishment by separation from society for a certain time does not yield any benefit success, then the bond marriage shall be dissolved, so that the harm and destruction of the clan family does not continue to grow. 59. And if a rift comes about between a man and a woman in a bond marriage, then one arbitrator each from the man's side and the woman's side shall be appointed to bring about a reconciliation between the man and the woman, so that peace and consonance harmony may reign amongst them. If, however, no reconciliation comes about and the rift continues, then it leads to destruction, breakdown of the bond marriage, so that this shall be dissolved 1 year after the desire for reconciliation, and 1 letter of separation each shall be given to the man and to the woman. 60. Direct yourselves in all things according to true equitableness, fairness, and do not set none right at its side, as you shall also do in such a way that you show kind-heartedness and mildness to your parents and their parents, your grandparents, as well as to your brothers and sisters and relations, to your immediate neighbors and those who are strangers to you. Therefore you shall also act in the same way towards the poor and needy, as well as the companions at your side and travelers, all of whom shall have the same rights as people of your kind, human beings, and to whom you shall grant these rights, because it is your duty towards people of your kind, fellow human beings. Do not be of pride, and do not be show-offs, loudmouths/boasters/big mouths towards people of your kind, fellow human beings, since truly you make yourselves unpopular and inconceivable, impossible, as you also prevent yourselves from being deemed as worthy taken seriously. 61. Those amongst you who are stingy and mislead people of your kind, fellow human beings, into stinginess and, in stinginess, conceal, dissimulate what has been granted to you and what you have created and the wealth you have achieved, so that you do not have to give to the poor and needy that part of which is their due from you. Then you are also practicing deceit with the share tax that you owe to the people's state, for its upkeep and for its efforts, in which case you shall be brought to punishment by the jurisdiction. 62. And those amongst you who share out donate some of your goods and chattels and wealth, so that you are seen and praised by the people, you shall know that you are only being guided, led by evil and veracity for renown, and that falseness, deviousness, is your companion, and your only reward will be disaster. 63. Consider what will happen to all of you if you have fallen prey to stinginess and do not present donate some of your possessions and wealth to the poor and needy. Truly, you will find neither gladness nor love nor peace in yourselves, neither happiness nor consonance, harmony, and no true freedom, because you are captives of yourselves and of your stinginess.